Let's start from the top, boys, because someone's had a mare, mate, as you do. So let's forget the hellos. Sorry to GG, BHE, Adam, Big Morgan, Addy, Kex, Charlie, Sean, SOS, and then Addy again for my muted. I said some really nice words. I'll definitely all nice words. Cheers for letting me know there's the audio. I thought I was going mad as well. I didn't even see the mute button on the thing. It was my fault. Sorry. So that was a beautiful start. As I say, just welcome to tonight's post match and everything. I hope everybody's well, and I just said I hope everybody had a good Easter, and I hope everybody's having a good one. Obviously, we're doing a bit of the post match, and then we'll go into player ratings as well. As I said, it's not a good vlog if you don't start off with a good mute. But let me get back into some of the hellos and see who else is on. As I said, sorry to all the guys I said hello to before. I hope you had a good Easter and hope you're well. I'll just get through the nominals, just letting me know. Yep, cheers, guys. If I didn't have you, I'd have gone on for an hour. Imagine that muted vlog the whole time. Charming. So we got lots and lots of people on tonight. Wine shop your dick, yeah, mate. Yep. So Alex saying I thought I was going deaf. Yeah, that's better. Vinny reads on. Hello, mate. Martin's on. He says, hope everyone's well and had a good Easter. You too, mate. Great watch along. I watched quite a bit of it back when I watched the game yesterday. I couldn't watch it live. As I said, it was my birthday, but hope you're doing well. Everything. It's great to have you back doing the watch alongs, mate. They're great fun. And he's saying evening to me, evening to you, mate. Yeah, to be fair, mate, the most sense is usually when I'm not speaking at all, mate. So yeah, I'll get you there. Noah, and I did say to you, Noah, well done, good win on the weekend. I'm assuming that was muted as well. And good weekend for the Leeds lot, and I hope you're doing well, Noah, and everything. Yeah, Alex, it was a great result for City. Leicester's, although we've got a decent record as of late, it's a tough team to get to overcome, especially, like, let's be real, they're the third best team in the league at the moment, so can't be anything but proud of getting the win and the clean sheet. And let's see who else is on. We've got Peter's on. Evening, Kurt. Hello, mate. Lee Cullen's on, saying hello to everybody. Hello, mate. Was I late? I thought I was on time, but if we include the muting fiasco, yeah, I'm late, boys. You know, keeping on the tradition, you know, as it were. Sean's saying Jesus on the left instead of a striker. He's a lot better there. I know a lot of people have that sentiment. Leonard's on. Hello, mate. He says, evening, everyone. Kurt, hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I know you're only joking, mate. It's all good. Yeah, it's brilliant to be on and be able to chat to you boys about the game. And it was a really bit of an interesting game for me, really. Dupe's on. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good Easter if you do celebrate that, mate. And for all those that don't, hope you just had a nice weekend. But let's just get into the lineups and the match stats for the game before we go into a five or so minute breakdown of some of the key points in the game. We started off with Eddie in goal, Walker at right back, Diaz and Laporte as the two centre backs, and Mendy at left back. I was on the FNS and I said I thought Mendy would start. And but yeah, I thought a lot of these picks made sense given the international break and such. But yeah, we had Rodri and Fernandinho and Kevin De Bruyne in the middle, and then Mahrez, Sergio, and Gabby up front. I really like the lineup, to be honest, given the internationals that a lot of our players have played, and obviously Laporte, Mendy, these guys, Dino, you know, aren't playing as much. Obviously, Mahrez not traveled. None of the South American guys did as well, right? So it was good in that sense. I thought it was interesting playing Rodri and Fernandinho. It allowed Rodri to press a little bit higher up the pitch, similar to what Maurizio Sarri did with Kante at Chelsea when he was using him to just sort of press in the attacking third as opposed to in the middle third. And I thought it was quite interesting lineup. It was nice to see Sergio obviously start. It was nice to see Gabby on the left side. I know a lot of us really like it there. And I wasn't too unhappy with the lineup. I really liked it going into the game. And the match stats for us was 56% possession to 44. So we usually have a lot more than that. Credit to Leicester. And obviously they're exceptional team, to be honest with you. They got a great midfield. They got obviously goals up front, and they got a great keeper and a decent back line. We had 11 shots to their 5. We had 4 on target to their 2. We had surprisingly only 1 corner each, and it was 13 fouls for them, 12 fouls to us. And if you're a fan of expected goals, it was 0.28 expected goals for Leicester and 1.98 expected goals for Manchester City. So by most of the metrics, we were well deserving of our victory. The game started off quite interesting for me. It was a little bit slow, I thought, a little bit proby, and then we saw 4 minutes in, the man, the myth, the legend, the man himself, Fernandinho, pings a lovely shot drilled to the bottom corner. Great goal, but the ref or VAR deemed that Sergio was interfering with Schmeichel, stopping his line of sight, so it was chalked off. But nevertheless, a great strike, and it really showed the impetus we had when we started the game. And then we sort of saw 10 or so minutes where the game sort of slowed down into more controlled possession for us, a lot more probing. And then at the 21-minute mark, we saw KDB lines up an absolutely cracking free kick. He's a beauty of a strike, getting that top spin on the ball to get it up and down really quickly, beats the goalkeeper, and it's only the woodwork that saves him. It was a really, really really lovely free kick, and a sign of what was to come for Kevin for the rest of the game, really. The first half for me was a bit of a nervy one, if I don't know if that's accurate in saying, but we felt a little bit timid, a little bit less likely. I don't know whether that was just due to the amount of changes we had or whatever. But yeah, the initial free kick itself was great, and then we sort of had a bit of a lull in play where we had a lot of possession, we're probing, moving it around, recycling, but not really creating any chances. And then at the 40-minute mark, we saw a really clever worked throw-in on the right-hand side from Kyle Walker, throws it over the top. Jesus does brilliantly to just flick it on. Mahrez gets it. It's on his left foot. You'd usually bank on him to at least work the keeper a bit better than he doesn't really get the angle on it, and it goes straight at the keeper. So it was a lovely worked move, and it was a shame that Mahrez couldn't put away the shot, really. And then a couple seconds later, we see Kevin De Bruyne line up a shot from outside the box. It was a good effort, but not really. It wasn't on target, so it was never really threatening the keeper. But as I said, a sign of what was to come for Kevin De Bruyne for that game. And then we saw probably the biggest scare, well, not probably, the biggest scare for us in the first half, when Fernandinho was probably messing about with the ball a bit too much in the centre of the park. Vardy nicks it off him. Kelechi Iheanacho gets the loose ball, drives with it, does really well to work some space. Tielemans makes the run from the outside. And what can I say? But what a world-class defensive block that was from Diaz in terms of stopping that up, stopping from Ederson to have to make a save. It was one of those moments when you're in the ground, you just get up and you just clap, because it's just quality defending at edge, just defending at its purest. And it was just the anticipation of where the danger is, understanding, reading of the game is just what we brought the bloke in for. And it was one of the, although it was a bit of a nervy moment, I absolutely loved. I love watching Diaz play. He's a real talent and a real joy to watch when he defends. Really, just the way he commands, the way he just understood where he needed to be, and movement, timing of it, excellent, really. And then just after that, there was a really, really nice through ball from Kevin De Bruyne to Jesus. There was nobody in the box for him to really do anything, so he works a bit of space, tries to get a shot off. It's over the bar, but didn't really have any other options. So credit for him to be able to get the shot off, because it could have easily just recycled the possession and nothing going from that. And then a little bit of another scare is in added time in the first half. Perez puts a ball into Vardy, who tucks it home, but he was miles offside. So even on first glance, it looked clearly offside. So it was one of those. So that was really the first half. And as I said, not our greatest game of football, but we were probing. We had the lion's share of the possession, and we created most of the good chances. So I was happy going into the second half. And going into the second half, we saw a break from Leicester. Kelechi, sorry, lost where I was on my notes. I don't know why they disappeared there on me. But going into the second half, it was it was one of those where we kind of needed to get our goal relatively quickly. We couldn't faff about. I didn't want this one going nervy and a bit late. And we saw Gabby on the left at about 55 minutes, I believe, puts in a lovely cross for Sergio, who gets his strike off, but it was blocked for a corner. And it was a decent strike. As I said, defender had it covered. And then the breakthrough came at 58 minutes when we saw some really nice build-up play on the right-hand side, some really nice controlled possession. Kevin De Bruyne just puts through the most delicious through ball to Mahrez, who shoots it square at the keeper. The ball gets cycled back out to the right-hand side. Like I said, with Rodri being higher up the pitch, he's on the right flank, who swings a really nice ball into a dangerous area, cleared by the Leicester defender. The ball comes to Mendy, has it on his left, shows great composure, sticks it on his right, boom, floats it bottom left of the goalkeeper, and that's 1-0 City. And really what we deserved at that point in the game, from what I felt. We were really on top at that point. And then a few minutes later, we see Sergio coming off for Sterling. Makes sense. Sergio's first start in a while, so 60 minutes, get him off. A couple minutes later, we saw Maddison and Pereira come on for Albrighton and Kelechi, with Leicester trying to change up their shape a little bit and try and be a little bit more forward going. And it's not only a few minutes later that we see probably the pass of the night from Kevin De Bruyne, with just another absolutely world-class through ball to Jesus. Jesus slides it to Raz. Raz holds the ball, thinks about what he can do, cuts back, thinks about a shot, sees Jesus wide open, 3 tap-in, slides it across to Jesus, and he knocks it home for his obligatory 1 goal and to make it 2-0 to City. And that was pretty much the game wrapped up, but City didn't stop there. At 77 minutes, we saw some absolutely amazing pressing by Gabby, some just world-class work rate in this when he moved into the centre after Sterling came on. Gets the ball to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne plays another lovely pass into Mahrez, who puts it wide yet again, and should really have scored. He had 3 good opportunities to score goals and didn't put one of them away, and has to be held accountable for that, really, because he got himself into some nice positions, but just wasn't able to put it in the back of the net, really, which is really disappointing. Then we see some subs. Mahrez off, Torres on. It was nice to see Torres get a few minutes in the Premier League. And then 87 minutes, we saw a really, really dirty foul from Amate, where he's just trying to manhandle Kevin, knocking him all around the head and whatnot. Potential red card. Who knows why it didn't get looked at. Very, very strange. But Pep really smartly, seeing Kevin De Bruyne getting a little bit heated, knowing that Kevin's played quite a lot over the international break, brings him off and gets Foden on. Great bit of management there. And then we just saw Sterling. Well, I wanted to mention in added time, I thought he was really, really clever and smart in terms of trying to buy the foul in the left-hand flank and running down the clock for the final whistle. And I thought it was just showing his maturity and intelligence. And then final whistle, 2-0. What can I say? Job well done. We had a few scares in the game overall, but I can't think of, we were the only ones deserving of winning that game for me. They created a couple chances, but nowhere near enough to danger us. And with the expected goals and the stats I said earlier on, it was evident that we were well deserving of our victory. And I'm just really happy that we're able to step one step closer to getting this Premier League wrapped up, keeping that momentum going for the Champions League in the week. Got the job done with rotation, which has been the key to this season, getting the job done when we don't have all of our players in there. So, yeah, really, really fantastic. But I'll get into a few of your comments. Obviously, I went on for a little bit, so I'll not be able to read out everything. So we'll just see what some of your guys' thoughts are before we go into the community poll man of the match and what your guys' man of the match is. So let's just see what a few of the boys were saying. Noah's saying Diaz is up there with Van Dijk. Well, yeah, Diaz is up there with any defender in the world based on performances at the moment. Noah, he's having an exceptional season. Even when he's not playing great, he's still a 7 out of 10. So you can't say anything other than that, mate. He's done wonderful. Kex is saying, do you really believe they're the 3rd best team in the league? I do. I believe they're the 3rd best team in the league behind Chelsea. I think we're the best, then Chelsea, then Leicester, then probably United is what I would have bracketed them. But that's just obviously a personal opinion. But the league doesn't lie, was what we always say, and they are 3rd in the league, right? 7 points clear of being dropped out of the top 4. Dupe saying Diaz is the best this season. He should win the Ballon d'Or. I very much doubt you're going to get a centre-back winning the Ballon d'Or, mate. It's just not the way it works. At the end of the day, the Ballon d'Or is just a French award. It is what it is. Kex saying Leicester was 6-1 to win. That's not too bad for them. Not too bad for them. Kevin De Bruyne should have had like 4 assists. Yeah, all the fantasy Premier League boys like myself would have been a bit gutted that he didn't get a few. At least a couple. Alex is saying, I hope our pitch is being worked on. Get there, Tom. He'll sort out. Yeah, get Tom on the tractor. He'll sort it out, won't he? He'll get it done. Sean saying, I think possibly if Leicester top 4, we might have going away to them and dominated the game. Yeah, they're marching for top 4 and it's a away game at Leicester, and we did dominate it. Like I said, we weren't free flowing and creating bagfuls of chances, but we created by far enough chances to win the game. We were good for the scoreline. Leonard saying, I'm not sure. Was expecting Diaz to be this good when we signed him, and Gundogan since the turn of the year has been brilliant. Yeah, Gundogan, is just a new lease of life. Anyone seen Jack Lee? I haven't seen him on tonight. I don't know if he's knocking about somewhere, if he's on or doing something else. It is Easter after all, so I do appreciate you all giving me your time on this Easter Sunday. I know it's late, but I wanted to get this out to you and see what your guys' thoughts are on the game. What were on the game, because I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good game of football and we were well worth our victory. PWR's on. Hello, mate. He says, I didn't watch the game. Who was the best and who was the worst? I'd say the better performers. We had a lot of good defensive display performances yesterday, but Kevin De Bruyne for me, Fernandinho, Rodri, the midfield had all of them had a really good game. I think the quieter players were probably Sergio, just because he didn't really get that much service going on. And Martin saying, yes, there is a watch along for Tuesday, 7:30 start. So that should be good fun. Make sure you all tune in for that one, because we all do love Martin's watch along, and we're really glad to have him back on the older watch alongs, because he's bloody brilliant at him, isn't he? Charlie's saying Fernandinho had a brilliant game. Yeah, apart from him giving the ball away and that potential chance that chance that we conceded where Diaz had to recover for him. Yeah, but what can you do? You're allowed a mistake. Yep. Yeah, he's back on him. I don't know that it might not necessarily be every single one, but as many as he can do, I'm sure he'll let you guys know in the comments. Kex is saying man of match. Kevin was the football god. Yeah, he was just superb. Alec is asking about what do you think about the 8,000 fans? I think it's nice that we're able to get fans in, but it's really tough with like it's the selection process, those sorts of things. You know, obviously there's a lot of things outside it that are a lot of questions how they're done, whether it'll be what I think about it. But on the whole, I'm really happy the idea of getting some fans back in the ground, and it's just difficult, isn't it, with these times? Obviously, things are looking up compared to they were 12 months ago. So it's only a wait and see. I'm just really excited when everyone can get back into the stadium. That's more for what I'm really excited for, Alec. But if they are 8,000 fans in, and whatever 8,000 fans get to go, they should count themselves lucky. It'll be a really good experience. I don't know if the pitch has been relayed, Lee. I'm not a bean, not a word. I don't know if anyone else has had any news on the pitch, mate, for you. Charlie saying it's great to see you back on the channel, Martin. Yeah, we all know it's all great to have him back. And Alex is saying we're going to win the league. Oh, we are going to win the league, mate. I think it's pretty safe to say now. Martin's just saying to Alec in regards to the fan stuff, he's saying, Alec, normal fans won't be allowed. Will be corporate and people who have had vaccines, unfortunately. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't want to condemn it or have any bad words to say about it, because at the end of the day, fans in the ground's a good thing, but how the selection process is made and things of that nature, I don't know the details, so I don't particularly want to comment, because it's just a bit ignorant to comment on something I'm not particularly well versed in, mate. But yeah, as I said, really good game. I was really happy with the amount of rotation we had. The selection made a lot of sense to me. It was nice to see some players in a bit of a different position, a la Jesus on the left in the early phases of the game, and Rodri being allowed to press really a bit higher up. I thought that worked quite well dynamically for our team. It allowed Kevin a lot more freedom to move laterally. and Rodri's really great in the half space. So having him press in the wide areas is never a bad thing when you've got Fernandinho covering the central spaces. I think it worked out a treat really, and allowing Mendy to be high on the left, Morris to be high on the right, Walker to be playing more of that natural inside next to Fernandinho, and allowing Rodri to just really have a bit of freedom to do what he wants. I thought it was just a really top game, a really top game. And Sean saying thank you for everything you do for the channel. Great work. Yeah, it's not just me. All the guys on here. It does take a lot of effort and work sometimes to get some of the stuff that we do on the channel. But as I said, we all do it because we enjoy it and we love talking to you guys and love talking to other City fans, especially in this COVID time where you can't go out and chat to anyone. Obviously, it's starting to get a little bit easier, and hopefully we look back in a couple of years these times and we won't have to go through something like this for a very long time. Hopefully, mate. Michael Feeney's on. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. This is High Curtain, all the Blues. Brilliant win yesterday against a very good team. Roll on Tuesday, another hard game, one game at a time, like Pep says. Yeah, exactly. One game at a time, like Pep says, and it was a tough game. And Leicester are a hard side to beat, I think. So anyway, they're a team that I respect a lot. I think they've got a really talented bunch of players and a good coaching staff. And I think behind us are probably the second best run club in the Premier League in regards to their revenue, their expenditure, their recruitment, their management philosophy, everything. I think behind us, they're probably the second best for me. And Martin saying, I am only guessing, though. I don't get to see go into everyday fans. It makes sense, but you never know. Remember, it's a trial. Yeah, exactly. As I said, like that's why I don't want to go in too much onto it, because until I know the details, I've looked into it more, I'll just be talking out my arse, basically. I don't really want to do that. Charlie saying 53 on. Hit the like button, guys. Yeah, exactly. Hit the like button, guys. And that leads us in very nicely to the community poll. We're going to do it a bit differently. I'm going to go for the man of the match first, get that out of the way, as opposed to leaving it to after the player ratings. But before we get onto the community poll, I just wanted to have a personal congratulations to Real Sociedad on winning their first trophy in 34 years. Man, David Silva, he won us our first cup in God knows how many years. He's helped win Real Sociedad's first cup in a lot of years, so happy to him, his whole family, and all the fans of Sociedad. I'm sure they're really enjoying getting to watch Almagro play for them. So I just wanted to say big congratulations to all the Sociedad fans and the big man himself, David. But yeah, we had obviously the community poll with with what you guys wanted for man of the match. I'll just reload it now in case there was any votes since the first came on. So as it stands, since I reloaded it, we had 296 votes. We had 5 potential options on there for you. First being Rodri, Fernandinho second, Kevin De Bruyne third, Jesus fourth, Diaz fifth. And the results are in. And the winner by a relatively large margin was Kevin De Bruyne with 65% of the vote. Second place went to Fernandinho with 20% of the vote. Jesus and Diaz were joint with 6% and Rodri in there with 4%. So clear winner for Kevin De Bruyne, with a clear second place being Fernandinho. So any of the guys in the comments right now who didn't cast your votes, you let me know what you think of the man of the match, because I agree with the poll. That's who I voted. Kevin De Bruyne. I think he was just majestical in his performance yesterday, and he's just a joy to watch, and it's such a privilege that he plays for us, mate. It's just such a privilege that he plays for us. Sean's asking about a preview for Dortmund. I don't know what's going on with the preview for Dortmund, mate. I'm not too sure if Andy's coming on tomorrow, if there's something Monday, but I'm sure there will be something out, and we'll obviously keep you guys all know the score. Keep in touch with the notifications and make sure you are subscribed so you can get the information about when that will be. And Kex is saying Martin will win. He's lucky Blue Bass is back as well as Martin. Exactly. How come he was the one who started the quad hype train? So yeah, exactly. And Charlie's saying David Silva, ole, David Silva, ole. 20th trophy he's won now. Yeah, what a man. As I said, I just wanted to say it because we all love David, and he's obviously helped those Real Sociedad move up a level. Yeah, I know they got knocked out of the Europa League against Man United, but yeah, they're having a decent season over there. Martin saying Almago keeps winning silverware. Well done, Sociedad. Yeah. I'm sure he's chuffed to bits that he was able to contribute to them having a successful campaign of the Copa del Rey. And then there's just everyone saying well done for David. And Neil's going, man of the match was for Kevin. We got Alex saying well done, David. Yeah, I think that's just all our sentiment. Well done, David. He obviously didn't do it alone. It's a team sport, but he helped contribute to them, and I'm sure he's chuffed to bits. Socrates has said, Kurt, quick question. Who do you think will finish in the top 4 this season? Love your vids. Thank you very much, mate. Just quickly, I think in no particular order, it will be City, Leicester, United, and Chelsea. So the ones that are in it now, basically. But I don't know what the order will be, mate. Yeah, and Lee Cullen agrees with Martin. Everywhere he goes, he's not a fan of gold. He likes that silver, you know. KDB was for Charlie Everett for man of the match. Lashella Blues on hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. He said, Kevin proved me wrong with these recent performances and work rate. Yeah, I think Kevin's always had immense work rate. It's something that just gets not noticed because you always talk about the Hollywood and amazing passes that he does. But yeah, Alec Johnson's echoing that. KDB, immense. Lee Cullen, KDB. Leonard London's gone with KDB as well. Nice to see the birthday boy Jesus score. Yeah, me, Jesus, and Andy all share a birthday. So yeah, it was a nice one for all of us, mate. A nice one for all of us. Martin saying KDB was great though. Ferdy and Roger were immense. Yeah, I thought the whole 3 of those midfield were immense, mate. I thought the whole of 3 of Gerson's on hello, mate. You're saying hello from Orlando. Yeah, I thought all 3 of them were great, Martin, in the midfield. Alex asking what I think about Delap. I really like Delap, but he seems to have sorted out. He's been a little bit more calm in the last couple games that I watched. Obviously, he's just banging in loads of goals. Some of the goals where he just bullies some of these defenders, it's like it's not going to happen at the men's level. But I think he's a really, really nice prospect, and I think he'd do well to be 3rd striker next season. Sort of getting on the plane to a few of the dead rubber Champions League group games, getting in the cups, maybe a few Premier League appearances towards the end of the season. You know, I think that's a nice evolution, sort of spending 50% of his time with the EDS and about 50% of his time with us. I think that would be a good development, or potentially maybe a loan to a championship side or something like that, because I don't particularly see what he's going to gain out of staying in the EDS for another year or 2. He's already proven that he's already ready for some level of high-level football. Whether it's Premier League ready right now or not, I'm not too sure. But I like Delap. He's a good prospect, and we'll see what happens with him. Lee Cullen said we should offer Ferno a 1-year extension. We should offer him whatever he wants, mate, if it's up to me, mate. If it was up to me. Salzburg's on hello, mate. He said happy belated birthday. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, it was a nice day. We had a good time all round. Nice victory. Watched the cities. Had a meal with the family. Can't complain. Alex saying I'll marry David Silva, and I've been married to my wife for 32 years. Yeah, I think a lot of us would, mate. David Silva is a very special man. His wife's a lucky woman. What can I say? Man City Fan TV. Andy's on. Hello, everyone, and Kurt. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good birthday and everything, mate. Michael Feeney saying David Silva, my favorite city other than King Colin. Well done, David Silva, a class player and a person as well. Yeah, Andy, I don't know if you mentioned, I was just mentioning about David Silva helping Sociedad win the Copa del Rey. We were just all giving him a big congratulations for that one. I don't know if you missed that, Andy. Socrates saying, Kurt, if we won the quadruple, how would you celebrate? It's one of those things you don't know how you're going to celebrate until it happens. I remember when we won the league in 2012, I was on the phone to my brother because he's a rag, and he was laughing at us going, ha, 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 ha. And then Aguero scored the goal whilst I'm on the phone to him. I said a lot of explicatives, flipped my sofa up and ran around the house with my shirt on my head like a 5-year-old. It was a great time. So God knows what I'd do if we won the quadruple, mate. Alex saying this was a result I was worried about, but job done. Yeah, exactly. Getting the job done against Leicester away is never an easy thing. Dupe saying it was a good performance. It really was. Peter's saying Man City Fan TV is like MCFC. You change the lineup and they all do sterling work. Cheers, mate. Like the pun as well there. And yeah, it was my birthday, mate. Oh. Charlie Everett saying, yeah, it was Andy. Yeah, exactly. Revenge is sweet, Dupe, isn't it? I like beating Leicester. Ever since they drummed us that 4-1, I've always wanted to get it back on them. I always feel like if you play Leicester in their black kit, you're going to lose. That's just the way I see it anyway. Andy's saying, what? Same birthday as me? Did we not know that? Why did we not know that? Oh, yeah. Who knows, mate? Who knows? It's a good birthday, April 3rd, isn't it? But what's Butcher saying? He's saying, if Pep don't overthink, we can actually win the UEFA Champions League. We'll need some good luck, good performances, and to keep our players fit. Really, that's what we're going to need in terms of the Champions League, because it's knockout stuff, man. Like Yannicka said on the Friday Night Social a couple of weeks ago, it's not even like it's not even fixtures. It's like seconds of moments of offsides, things going in. Sergio not scoring the penalty at the away leg against Spurs. You know, the flick not happening, it not being offside in the home leg against Spurs. The silly goal, the offside goal that we conceded against Liverpool in the Champions League. There's so many things that can affect the Champions League results. So it's just about being lucky and being good on the day. But here we go. I think we might be ready. We've been graciously joined just before we get on to the player ratings by this man. Hello, mate.
Hello, you. How are you, mate? Happy birthday for yesterday, buddy.
Yep. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. It was a nice birthday. Got to spend it obviously with the family that I live with. Said hello to the other ones, and on the phone and that. Had a nice meal. Got some nice bits and bobs. Can't say too much to that. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. What a result yesterday, mate. Proper good performance. Yeah, I thought everyone looked pretty sharp, actually, other than one player.
One person.
We'll save that for player ratings.
We'll get to that when we get to the player ratings. But yeah, obviously, I don't know if you heard what my thoughts were on the game, but as I said, I thought it was a great performance, getting over the line with the amount of changes just on the lineup. I was really happy with the lineup based on what our players played on the international stuff, and obviously the guys who don't play international kind of got in there and stuff. So what were your any particular comments you want to make before we get into the player ratings about the lineup and the game itself, mate?
I was a little bit surprised, mate, if I'm honest with you. I think Kun and Gabby starting was a bit of a surprise, but then, like you say, they weren't involved in international. So, you know, I thought Pep did a really good job, actually, because Laporte and Mendy wouldn't have had any international duties this time around. So, yeah, I thought he did a great job. But what really impresses me, Kurt, is that I wouldn't say that was anywhere near our strongest lineup this season. And yet they absolutely dominated Leicester at home. And I know home advantage isn't so much of a thing at the minute, but still, I thought it was a really solid performance. Could have had more, really. Some really good performances from the midfield, 3 or 4. And Gabby had a good game there. There was lots of players where, I mean, Diaz again. What a buy!
What a guy!
What a guy, mate! So yeah, my man of the match would have been Kevin, but there were other ones who.
Just laughing at Alex's comment. I'm in the same boat, mate. So it is what it is, mate. At least I get to do this and spend my time on here with you guys, mate. So it's nice. But yeah, mate, it's I can't wait for this stuff to get over and get back to some normality. That would be nice. Earning some cheddar again would also be quite nice, you know. Would be quite nice. But yeah, I really enjoyed the game. I really liked the lineup based on, and I was making some points about Rodri being allowed to press in the half spaces since Fernandinho was covering the central areas, and it allowing Kevin to move a lot more laterally in the midfield. Yeah. And I just thought it was a little bit different because normally when we see Rodri and Fernandinho, we play more of a 2 defensive midfielders and a true 10, whereas it felt like Rodri was playing a bit more of an 8 role, a ball-winning 8 role, pressing high up the pitch. I sort of likened it similar to what Sarri did with Kante when he was at Chelsea. Now, Jorginho in the hole and Kante sort of pressing higher up in the pitch. And obviously, we saw it work to great thing. And it's another little string to our bow in terms of tactical differences we can make with personnel changes. And I thought it was a really interesting from Pep we did, because it was very subtle. It wasn't particularly massive importance to the game, but it was just something different, just a different option that we have, a different problem that we can cause other teams. And I really, really liked it. But obviously, we've been nattering on a wee while, so we'll get to starting with the player ratings. Obviously, we've just done man of the matches. And the community poll with man of the match, which Kevin De Bruyne won. Who was your man of the match, mate?
Kevin for me as well, but
yeah,
I do think there were some really good performances out
hats off to a lot of people last night, but Kevin was different gravy for me. Gravy.
Mate, he's coming back now. You know, he's back. He's had a few games under his belt.
And honestly, I think the international break did him actually well.
Yeah,
got him a bit of rhythm. I felt like, because I think he played. I think he was purring. I didn't watch the games, only watched the highlights. But from the highlights, he looked like he was the linchpin in absolutely everything that happened in the international break for Belgium. He looked like he had a really, really, really good game. But let's start off with the player ratings. Start at the back like we always do. Steady Eddie, as some call him. And I thought he had an all right game. Not too bad at all. I said didn't really have much to do. His distribution was, I thought, really good, as always. I thought he had a solid game. The one save he did have to make, he made it, looked comfortable. I think he's getting a little bit more mature, because in the first couple of seasons, he'd come out a little bit rash. I think he's got a little bit more refinedness when he knows he needs to make the move, and when he's got guys who can make the cover. And I think we're noticing that, because that was a little bit of a problem in his game. He was a little bit rash. And I put him down as a 7. I thought he had a really solid game, but I couldn't give him much higher than that because he just didn't have nothing to do.
No, I think the only thing I would say, and it was an offside goal for Vardy. He did rush out a little bit for that one, but it was offside, so it doesn't really matter, does
exactly.
It? But I'm with you, mate. It's like you can almost write the script for Ederson nearly every game. Is it? Nothing much to do. Great distribution, made a good save. You know, it seems to be the story of the season. You know, so 7 seems a fair marking. You know, if you want to go higher, I think that's fine. But
yeah, exactly. I just didn't feel right giving him higher because he didn't have that much to do, and his distribution wasn't so. It's not like he made one killer pass that you go, you got to give him a half a point for that pass alone, sort of thing. So I think a 7's fair dues for him. But let's listen to what Mr. Bajowski, as he always had to say about Ederson and his performance. He said, had very little to do, but did well. Assertive in claiming the ball from dead ball situations. His distribution was accurate as usual, and he gave him a 7. So bang on the money with us. But let's get into what you guys think, because that's what we're here for, your guys' ratings. And we're starting it off with Charlie, who went with a 7.5. Sean's echoing me and Chris and gone with a 7. Same for Lee. Leonard's also gone with a 7. Andy went with a 6. I think that's fair enough. 7, nothing to do for SOS. Dupes with his obligatory 0.1. As always, love to see it, mate. 7.1 for Eddie. Neil Handstock's gone with a 7. Good as ever. Yeah, he's a great keeper, isn't he? He's just getting better and better every game, I feel like. Just decision-making wise, control of his box, those sort of things. Cool hand, Eddie, 8. Cafe de Casuals, yep, another 8 for Martin as well. Le Chal Blue's gone with a 7. His minimum rating for a winning team with a good performance. I think that's fair, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. Eddie's gone with a 6.5 for Eddie. And Abdullah's gone with an 8. So yeah, I think it's a pretty even across the board. I'd probably say it's about 7. Any more? Got Butchers on a 7. Alex gone with a 7. Michael's gone with a 7. So I think there was a couple 8s, a decent amount of 7s and a few 7.5. So you think it's about 7.5?
Yeah,
I think a 7.
Fair,
7.5 sounds about fair for Eddie. And I think job done. He's just
There's a few comments I saw there about Alan and his crumpet eating, and just to let you know, Alan can hold 6 crumpets in each hand. That's 1 for each finger.
Yeah, he just bites the middle bit out and does them like hula hoops.
That's it, mate. Unbelievable.
And Alex saying this show a 10. Cheers, mate. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And if anyone is enjoying it and they're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button. And saying had they nothing to do all game, got rounded by Vardy, went 1-on-1 8. Yep, that's why I didn't give him an 8, mate. That's why I went with a 7. But that's what it is. It's all opinions and what other people thought. But yeah, I think a solid 7.5 from the comments I've seen. Moving on, we'll start from the right-hand side with Mr. Walker himself. And I thought had a really, really good game. I thought, as always, made some great recoveries. I think he helped support Mahrez really well. I think he's just got so much maturity in his game and his physical levels. Like the amount of times I see him doing recovery runs and point to the centre back saying, "I've got this, you go cover the space," and then he's got it and he just wins the ball, no problem. And it's just sometimes you can forget how important that is when you see it almost week in, week out. But I really liked his performance, and I gave him a solid 7. I thought he had a really good game.
I thought he had a great game, mate. I thought he was a bit like he was at the start of the season when he was easily our best player. He was commanding yesterday. He got up and down that wing a lot. And like you say, so reliable and the right choice really in that game. I think when you've got the pace that Leicester have got, then Walker...
Yes, Vardy in the channels, you need him, yeah.
I think Walker's the right man. Yeah, for me, I actually give him an 8. I thought he had a really good game. I thought it'd be fair to give him an extra point.
Yeah, and let's get into some of you guys thought. We got Lee Cullen agreeing with me. He gone with a 7. Charlie went with a 7.5. Butchers went with a 7.9, mate. It's halves or fulls, mate. Only Dupe gets away with it, I'm afraid, Butchers, mate. So you have been warned. There's many chainsaws knocking about tonight. Leonard's gone with an 8, so he agrees with you, Chris. Dupe's gone 8.1. Walker played well. Alex gone with an 8. SOS went with a 7.5. Cafe went with an 8. Good game. As Sean's just saying, 58 on. Oh, 65 on now, mate. Only 31 likes. Yeah, drop a like if you're enjoying it, guys, as always. Andy's gone with a superb 8.5, so he's gone it just a little bit higher than you, Chris. Neil went Kyle 8. Nobody outpaces him. He's just the strength as well. It's not just the pace, it's the strength as well. Yeah. He just bullies people about. He's great. Martin went with a 7.5. Oh, big jump there. Scott Williams went with an 8. Sean went with an 8. Eddie Brownhill went with a 7 for Walker. Yeah, his pace is just wow. The real question is, what age is he going to drop? Because he might be one of those guys. Because you've got to remember, some sprinters sprint into their late 30s. So if you train well and look after yourself, it's possible to keep that pace. The Dale man's gone with Walker for an 8. Michael's gone with a 7.5. Hello, Michael. Hope you're doing well, mate. Dudley's went with a 7.5. Lachelle Blue went with a 7.5. Peter went with a 7. And Abdullah went with an 8. So if there's any more, we'll just wait a few minutes for that. But on the looks of it, a lot of 8s. Decent amount of 7.5s, but a couple 8.5s in there. So I think anything. What are you saying about a 7.5 or an 8? I'm not really too sure with this one.
I probably think it is a 7.5 to an 8. So let's go 8. Let's be nice.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, there's another 8 come through from Arnav. So yeah. That was the decider. And it was an 8 for Walker. But before we move on, let's just listen to what Simon Bajowski thought about Walker. He said, grew into the game and he put his experience to use. Didn't offer much in attack, but played a significant role in stopping Leicester's counters. And he went with a 7. So that's what Simon Bajowski thinks. But it's not about what Simon Bajowski thinks, it's about what we think. And we gave Walker an 8. So moving on to the man next to him in central defence, we'll go with Diaz, who gets his opportunity to play on the right-hand side with Laporte playing next to him. I thought Diaz was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Obviously, we talk about the defensive block that was just world-class, and he's just commanded the area in the box, and he's just understanding of danger and space and just his maturity for his age, his physicality. We could talk about all these things, but I just can't think of a game where he's had less than a 7 in terms of performances. And this was just another one. I think he led that line. Laporte looks so comfortable next to him when he knows that he hasn't got to worry about organizing backlines. He's got to worry about what he's doing. And I gave him an 8. I thought he had a really, really good game. What was your thoughts on Diaz, Chris?
Yeah, brilliant, mate. He marshalled that defence brilliantly. That block that he got in on, I can't remember who took the shot now. Was it Tielemans? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Tielemans.
Yeah, just superb, man. Like you say, mate, it's a guy of that age to be showing that level of maturity. And, you know, people like Kyle Walker and Eamon Laporte, maybe not so much with Ben Mendy here, but with those two especially, they're regular players at Manchester City. And he's come in and he's guided him through as well. You know, I think he's what a buy. And yesterday was just a typical performance for him. And I'm going to give him an 8.5. Yeah,
like I said, I can't disagree with you there. I just went with an 8, but I thought he had a really, really good game. What a guy. But let's see what some of the guys in the chat will thought about Diaz's performance. Peter's gone with a 7.5. Charlie went with a 9. Lord Diaz. He takes people's souls, doesn't he? Sometimes with some of those blocks, it's just Eddie doesn't even need to make the saves half the time. He's just there. Arnav's gone with a 9. Andy went with an 8.5, so he's with Chris on that one. Diaz, I don't care, but 10.1. Don't forget the 0.1. Leonard's gone with an 8.5. Scott's gone with an 8. Abdullah went with a 10. Yusuf, our resident Liverpool fan, hello, mate. He's gone with a 9. Eddie Brownhill went Diaz 8.5. Alec Johnson's gone with a 10. Oh, great player, isn't he? He just brings a smile to my face. I love defenders, and he's a proper defender, isn't he? Cafe de Casual's gone with an 8.5. Sean went with a 9.5. 8.5 commanding from SOS. Arnav was with a 9. Lee Cullen's gone with an 8. Michael Feeney's gone with an 8 for me. The Dale Man's gone with a 9. Alec Johnson, once again, Diaz 10. He was superb like company. Yeah, he's got those vibes, hasn't he? He does have those vibes. Bit of a jump there. Neil Handstock, 8.5. Incredible block and the sheer consistency shown again. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I can't think of a game where he had less than a 7. Maybe not even less than a 7.5, to be honest with you. Some really high levels of consistency, especially at that age. Because consistency usually comes with experience, and the geezer's so young. Yeah. 8.5 for Lachelle Blue. Diaz is great, isn't he, Dupes? He is great, isn't he? Diaz is going to be a world beater. He's phenomenal, yeah. And hopefully he can stay with us for a very long time and be a world beater with us, mate. Kamazat, I hope that's pronounced correctly, mate. He's gone with an 8.5. So some really nice scores in there. A few 10s, a lot of 8.5s, a few 9s, a couple 9.5s. I think from the comments, it really does look like a 9 for me. I don't know about what you think, Chris, on the aggregate here, because a lot of them are in there.
Yeah, I think I agree, mate. I think it is hovering around the 9.
Yeah,
but and to be fair to him, he didn't put a foot wrong. So
nothing. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant. And Peter's finishing us off with Diaz, and he's given Ruben an 8.5. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 9 because, like I said, a lot of 8.5s, a lot of 10s in there, a couple 9s in there, a lot of high scores. What a guy! And before we move on to his partner in central defence, let's listen to what Simon Pachowski thought. Important in commanding the defence, and also made a pivotal block in the second half when the game was still goalless. He gave him an 8. So yeah, what a guy. What a guy. And that leads us nicely on to his partner in crime for tonight. A guy who I think's actually getting better and better and better every game he plays is Laporte. And for me, I thought he had a really, really good game. He didn't have the Hollywood block that Diaz did, but his progressive passing, his it can't be understated how much having a left-footed left side centre-back can help in certain situations, especially with the left fullback, because it allows the left fullback to take different options in receiving the ball. So that can't be understated. And I think he's really, really, really hitting some levels of consistency and giving Pep such a decision whether it's Stones or Laporte next to Diaz, and I think it's just coming down to the games, fitness, rotations, and yeah, he's giving him headaches. And I gave him a 7.5. I thought he had a really, really good game. What was your thoughts on Laporte, Chris?
Yeah, very similar actually, Kurt. I think he is getting progressively better. I think that'll come back from let's face it, it was a bad injury that he got last season. He's getting some regular game time. Yeah, Pep's got a hell of a decision because the three of them are all playing at such a high standard, but which is fantastic, mate, because you can swap one out, give them a rest if they need it, and there's not going to be any drop in performance. I thought Laporte yesterday, I thought he was maybe not quite on Diaz's, like you say, because it was a Hollywood block, but he did nothing wrong. So I'm going to give him an 8.5 as well. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, I just think also, I think it's Mendy and Laporte have a bit of a natural chemistry on that side anyway, obviously being both French. I feel like like I said, in terms of passing the ball out, it allows Mendy to take a different position, because normally if it's a right foot centre back, they have to be a bit more square because you don't want to be passing it diagonally. But when you're on the left foot, you can put it on the outside, so you're not passing through the centre of the pitch to put an aggressive pass. So I think that really does add a little bit of balance, and it helps out whoever's on that side. But yeah, I thought he had an absolutely stellar game. But let's get into what some of the guys on here thought. Andy's kicking us off with an 8. Lee Cullen's gone with a 7.5. Leonard's gone with an 8. Peter's gone with an 8.5. Martin said Laporte gets an 8. Michael Feeney's gone with a 7.5. Dudley's gone with an 8. Charlie's saying 8.5. He did nothing wrong as well. The door is shut. It most certainly is, mate. And if it ain't shut, Eddie will kick you out the other side and boot it shut. You know what I mean? So it's what it is. Abdullah's gone with an 8 for Laporte. So it looks like a bit of a consistent theme I'm seeing here for Laporte. Scott's gone with an 8. Alex gone with an 8. Eddie went with an 8. SOS went with an 8. Cafe de Casual went with an 8. Neil went with an 8. Yusuf, giving us something different. He said a 9 for Laporte. Lachelle's gone with an 8. He's using his pace very well. Yeah, he has got I don't think he's the quickest centre back, but he's got a nice, decent 10-yard pace, which is what you really need as a centre back, because that's what gets you into the position to either make the tackle or make the block. 8.5 from Sean. Deed Rabbit's gone with a 7.5. Alex is just saying, I hope Stones gets over his mistake the other day. Played great for us. Yeah, is what it is. Is what it is. Everyone makes mistakes. It's not a big deal. Ray Fairney's gone, and he's given him an 8.5. Messi's gone with an 8.5. Edison, a bit late for Edison, mate. We're a bit past that one. Harge has gone with an 8.1. Careful, Harge, mate. Only Dupes gets the 0.1s around here. So Laporte got an 8 from Harge. Stuff this. 10 for the lot. Respect that one, Andy, mate. That's how I felt emotionally, but I can't. I'll leave Addy to keep the 10s rolling. Everyone's joking with me now, going back and forth with the old ones they've Laporte with a 9.1 for Dupes. Alex said, yeah, screw it, give him the 10. So I can't really give him anything else but 8, because that was pretty much what it was the whole way through, really. But I agree with you guys. 8 for Laporte's a very, very good score. I'd like to see him and Stones a little bit more together, see who gets what role. I assume Laporte will keep that role and Stones will have to be the more aggressive centre-back out of the two, because I think it suits him a little bit more. But I'd like to see them get a thing, but not in a crunch game, that's for sure. Keep Diaz in there. But let's see what Mr. Pajowski thought before we move on to the left-sided fullback for yesterday. He said, a solid performance for Laporte, albeit one that likely will nudge him ahead of John Stones in the pecking order. He helped out, but he helped out by Diaz at times and gave him a 7. I think that's a bit critical, personally. I think he held his absolute own. I think just because one person's leading in the centre-back duo and is pointing and organising doesn't mean they're helping him out. That's just them doing their part of the role, you know? You don't want too many chefs in the kitchen, you know what I mean? That's the best way to be. But yeah, so he's gone with that. And that moves us nicely on to a man who doesn't get too many opportunities these days, but I thought really, really put his name out there and didn't didn't really have a bad game at all, did he? I think he did what he needed to do. I think when Mendy comes in, he's a lot more focused on his defensive duties than his offensive duties, and I think that's evident in the way he plays. He still offered us, he's the only fullback who can really offer us that high and wideness on the left-hand side, because Zinchenko doesn't have the pace of Mendy to be able to make the recovery runs. So it's a different option. So having these guys getting in performances is good. I thought he was obviously exceptional for the goal. Calmness to put it onto your weaker foot and just lob it into that bottom corner is that's just the definition of composure in a football match. I thought it was really well for his goal. I think the goal flattered his performance a little bit. I think he had a good game, but it wasn't as great as, but you score a goal and like that, and you're important. You put in a couple nice balls, but putting in nice balls in the air it's not going to suit us, Mendy, unfortunately. It's just not the way it works for us. Drill them hard and low, mate. You'll probably have a lot more joy. But I gave him an 8. It was going to be a 7.5, but he got the goal, so I bumped him up to an 8 for me. Solid thing, and he's one more player adding to the list that gives a headache to Pep and a selection option. But what did you think about Benjamin?
Yeah, well, pretty much the same as you there, Kurt. I thought, when I saw his name in the team sheet, I'm going to be honest with you, I was like, no, not Mendy's playing. But he had a solid game, and I had him down for a 7. But I would bump him up to an 8. Now, that goal was so important because we'd missed a few chances up to that point.
Exactly. That's my point with it.
And he just was very calm, and it was a lovely finish. Real nice finish. And I thought you can't underestimate the importance of that first goal, because we missed that many chances really. So yeah, I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he had a good game. Yeah,
and like I said, I think he didn't put a foot wrong defensively. Don't get me wrong; he was sometimes high up the pitch, but that's just by of the way we play and what we wanted him to do in the role, not necessarily him being like, I can't think of any time he got dispossessed or anything like that yesterday. So yeah, I was really happy with his performance. So let's see what some of the guys in the chat thought of Mendy's performance. Leonard's kicking us off, and he agreed with us, and he's gone with an 8. Sean's gone with an 8. Obviously, Scott Carston's 100, isn't he? He's the man. Edison would know nothing without that man. Let's be real. But we're talking about Mendy, and this one's for him. And Neil's gone with an 8. Good game, great goal. Yep, definitely. Ray's gone with a 9 for Mendy. Lee Cullen's gone with an 8.5. Dupes, he's given us a 0.5. Okay, he's gone Mendy 0.5. Crossing is still bad. I don't think it's his crossing that's bad. I think it's the type of crosses that he's good at doesn't suit our team. I think that's probably a more accurate thing, because these crosses are hitting the danger areas. It's just we haven't got the players that suit that danger area. So it's one of those. But Andy's gone 8 because of his goal. Great finish. That's where I'm at, mate. If he didn't score the goal, the mark would have been a bit low, because I didn't think he had the greatest game, but he didn't put a foot wrong for me and had a solid game. 8 for Scott Williams. Mendy 10 for Abdullah. A little bit high, but yeah, mate, fair play. SOS has gone 8.5. The 0.5 was how he took his goal. Yeah, it was really well taken. You'd be saying what a quality finish if that was a striker. So when it's a fullback, take your hats off to him. Mendy 8.5 from Alec. Any more? Messi's gone with an 8. Mendy 6.5. His crosses were too fast and off course too many times. Like I said, I just spoke about that. I think if we had Dzeko in our team, I think people would be a lot more excited about Mendy's crosses. But like I said, keep them low, drill them hard. That's what we like at City. 7+1 for the goals, so he's gone for an 8. Dudley. And some donuts in the comments. Don't worry about them. Any more for any more? Sorry, I just lost where I was. Martin's gone with an 8. Mundy, much better. Mendy has 2 goals. Yeah, he's a scorer of goals, mate. Scorer of goals. Alex got 8.5. Dead Rabbit went with a 7.5, and Michael went with an 8. So unless there's any more, I just read out what Mr. Bajowski thought about Mendy's performance. He said, positioned high and wide on the left, Mendy held his own against Albrighton, pushed hard searching for a mistake in possession. He whipped a few dangerous crosses and showed wonderful poise to score their opener, and gave him an 8. So pretty nice and fair and reasonable for Mr. Pajowski. But going on what you guys are saying, I think an 8 seems about the right score for Mendy, given an aggregate of what all you guys think. But yeah, good game. Credit for him scoring the goal, and credit for him keeping his head up and not, because it'd be very easy to keep not bothered about this club anymore, do that kind of lark. But he's not really doing any of that, so credit him for that. But now, moving on to the really juicy part, which was the midfield for me, what performances by every man in there. But we're going to start the man at the base of the midfield, my favourite player, Fernandinho. Apart from the error he made in possession, I thought he had an absolute stellar game. Great strike for the goal given chalked off because of interference from Sergio. Just every time you play, you just get to see what he offers. Playing the deeper of the two of him and Rodri, proper captain's performance. As I said, apart from that one area in losing possession, didn't really put a foot wrong, and I gave him an 8. I love watching Fernandinho play. I don't know what you thought about Ferner.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. He's got to stay in of the year. He has to, mate. If it's the level of performance he's putting in, even if it was a drop off a couple of percent, mate, he's still good enough to get into, as a backup. And what a game! What performance for me? He was bordering on man of the match. Yeah, I think De Bruyne's slide rule pass was probably what tipped it for me. But yeah, it's the fact that he didn't take no shit off anyone, does he? He's happy to leave. Did you see the one where he did Maddison from behind? Maddison's giving him a boat of grief. He's giggling in his face and then just rubs his head.
His head on the way out, mate. I was standing up cheering, mate. That's the sort of stuff I live for, mate. What a guy. What a guy. I love Fernandinho.
I thought he played brilliant yesterday, mate.
Really. So what was the score, mate? I don't know if you said it or if I've just missed it.
I'd give him a 9 because I thought he was that good. So the only reason I'm giving him a man of the match is because of that one pass by Kevin, really.
Yeah, I was gonna give him an 8.5, but for the sloppiness in possession, I thought I'd try and be relatively fair and duck him. For me, if I was being just on how I feel about Fernandinho, it'd be a 10 every game, no matter how he plays. But I try to be a little bit. I know where my bias is, and I try and bring them back a little bit for those ones. But let's see what some of the other guys in the comments thought about Fernandinho. Leonard's gone with a bit of a lower score there. He's gone with a 7.5. 10, defo 10 from Cafe. Andy's gone with a 9 for Ferner. Dukes went with an 8.1, really solid. Carroll went with a 9.5, top performance. Old head on one leg, looks 21. He's a beautiful man, isn't he? He's another one who his wife's very lucky and his family is very lucky. By all accounts, he's a great human being. Ray Fernley's gone with a 9.5. Martin's gone with an 8.5. Scott went with a 9. How is Thurner 35? He just gets that. He's getting some some youth serum from somewhere. We'll keep it coming. Don't mind. Must have a good filtration system in his water. What can I say? Dudley's gone with a 9 for Ferner. Neil went with an 8. Ferner's still got it. He never lost it, mate. He's always had it. Oh, yeah, it's a bit late for screaming about Fernandinho. But yeah, 8.5 for Charlie. I love Fernandinho, mate. The day he leaves our club, I've been very sad about a lot of players, but he'll be up there. Him and Sean Wright-Phillips are probably the two saddest for me, man. I'll never get over that, man. But hey-ho. At least he come back and got to be on the trophy, win that FA Cup with us. That was nice. Hi, everyone from Canada. Hello, Sammy. Hope you're doing well. We're on the player ratings, and we're just doing our player ratings for Ferner right now. So get involved and get your comment down for Fernandinho, what you thought he had. SOS has gone with an 8.5. Lee Cullen went with an 8. Ferner 10 as always. Abdullah's gone with a 9. Messi went with a 9. Big jump for me there. Ferner 8 from Eddie Brownhill. Sean went with a 9. Dupe saying slap him with a 4-year contract. Just give him a lifetime contract. Let him do what he wants. Could turn up when he wants. Treat us how he wants. I don't care. Don't care for me, mate. But that's just me. 8.5 from Lashola Blue for the 22-year-old. Ferner is not human. Not from this earth. I'm convinced. 10. Yeah, he's Madison's hair 0. Yeah, I always think that's funny when these players put all their effort in and he's just like, nah, mate. Sammy's gone in with a 7.5. Yeah. Michael Fernie saying Fernandinho an 8 for me. I totally agree with Chris. We have to keep him for another season. Class player. Yeah. What a guy. What a guy. And any more on Fernandinho? Eric's gone with a 9 for Fernandinho, and Peter's gone with a 8.5. So I'm going to go with a 9 for the aggregation there, boys. There's a lot of 10s, decent amount of 8s, few 8.5s, few 9s in there, but we all love him and whatever he decides to do, just like Sergio, best of luck to him. But I hope he decides to stay another year, and I hope the club decide to at least give him that option if he wants to stay another year. That's for me anyway. But let's see what Mr. Bajowski thought about Fernandinho. He says, unlucky to see his early effort ruled out and started like an express train. Although was unfortunate when he was caught out, allowed Leicester to break in the second half, and he gave him a 7. So he's a misery guts, his old Simon Bajowski. But yeah, he gave him a 7. We gave him a 9. I gave him an 8. And what did you give him, Chris? 8.5 or 9? You gave him a 9.
I think I gave him a 9, yeah.
Yeah, a 9. So all round good scores for the man himself. And let's moving on to the guy, his partner in crime, sometimes next to him, sometimes a little bit further up, but definitely all over the place, was Rodri. A little bit of a different role, but still doing what he does best, recycling possession, moving the ball around, looking for progressive passes, winning the ball high up. I think giving him that freedom in the attacking third to sort of move into these half spaces and really drown people out, especially on the right-hand side to help Mahrez, because we all know pressing isn't and winning the ball back isn't Mahrez's strength. So allowing him to get into those half spaces and do that, I thought was really good. I thought his game, I thought it was a bit underrated. I had him really close to Fernandinho in terms of score for me, mate, and I had him on an 8. I thought he was really, really good, Fernandinho. I know. It's similar with Laporte for me for Rodri this game. There wasn't any Hollywood passes or crazy tackles that really stick out in your mind, but just high levels of consistency, high level of performance from the first minute to the last minute for me. What was your thoughts on Rodri, mate?
Yeah, me and Alan were winding down Martin up this morning, saying how poor he was, but I don't think he fell for it because he did play that well. Yeah, I gave him an 8. I thought he was really steady, and like you say, he helped out on Walker's side of the pitch, which is great. Pep's doing these little tweaks this season that just seem to be working, and it's a really solid, almost like one of those performances where you can say you don't really notice him, but he did so much work yesterday. Yeah,
but that's what I've been saying about a lot, because I initially said it was a ghost, but that's kind of disrespectful. I'd probably describe it more as like a shadow. He's just a shadow. You don't notice him, but then you notice him and it's gone. The ball's gone. He's moving up the thing. And he also has a really interesting trait that I've sort of noticed over the last few games, where he'll stop the ball dead. He'll look up and then he'll just, no matter what, he'll just take like a 3-yard sprint. And then all of a sudden, another passing lane's opened up. And it's really interesting. I pay attention to it because he does it quite a lot, actually. And I don't really see it too much from defensive midfielders, because normally if they stop it, it's to go sideways or backwards. But he'll stop it and then like restart the phase and then find a new passing lane where one of the midfielders is dropping deep or going a bit wider. Yeah, he's bloody brilliant, isn't he? Bloody brilliant. Another good player, and another buy that we can't say we're unhappy with, that's for sure. But moving on to what your guys' thoughts for Rodri, Leonard's gone with a 7.5. Lee Cullen's gone with me, and he's going to give in Rodri an 8. Sean's gone with an 8.5. SOS went with an 8. Abdullah went with an 8. Eric went with a 7. Ray Fairney's gone with an 8.5. Andy went with an 8. Another underrated performance. Exactly my point, mate. That's why I wanted to try and highlight it, because these type of performances can go unnoticed when you've got other people making Hollywood passes, great defensive locks. You know what I mean? In the game, a few chances. He was a big key in. Tielemans and Ndidi is not an easy midfield to dominate. No matter how much we've spent on our players, no matter how many players we have, that's a good midfield. So dominating them's not an easy task. 8.1 for Dupes. Big jump there. Let me scroll back up. Martin's gone with a 9. 8.5 for Charlie. It's an 8 for Neil. 7.5 for Eddie. From Eddie, sorry. Dudley's gone with an 8. Yeah, he very is much doing that role. I think he's got a little bit better with his awareness as well, and he knows he doesn't have the space and time he has necessarily that he did have in Spain. Scott's gone with a 9. Worried when I saw the team sheet, but he pulls so many strings. Quality, yeah, he's quality, isn't he? Lachelle Blue's gone with an 8.5. Cafe de Casual's gone with an 8. Any more on the scores? Yeah, and Martin's saying, "Nah, I didn't fall for it this time. We'll get you next time, mate. Don't you worry. You're not a hard one to catch. Just
he's getting wise to it, mate. Twice in a week, he's not fallen for a couple of months.
Eric said the 6th thought he was sloppy.
Yeah, I've just put him into a timeout because I think he's on a wind up, mate. You just don't say his full name, mate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not that silly. I got like on my first few streams, and now I'm a little bit wise. We have to be a little bit smarter, you know. Not that much, because like I'm not exactly no mastermind here, mate. But you know,
yeah, I think he's on a wind up, mate.
him doing his Only Fools and Halls as a reference. I need to go watch that episode. I need to go find that episode and watch it. Great analogy, Andy. But yeah, I thought he had a good game. And Peter's gone with Rod as an 8. Yeah, he was great. So, but in aggregate of what you guys think, I think about an 8's about right for Rodri. A couple of 7.5s in there, but it was pretty much mostly 8s. And sorry, Alec, I missed you. He went with a 10 for Rodri. And let's see what Mr. Pajowski thought about Rodri before we move on to the last man in midfield. He said, alert to everything going on around him and dealt with it all in one of his more mobile outings. The primary reason City could control the game so high up the pitch. And he gave him an 8. So he's basically echoing what I'm saying. Allowing to be pressing up high up the pitch is it's really good. It's really good, especially when you've got a guy. But imagine how Rodri feels pressing that high up the pitch when he knows Fernandinho's behind him. Yeah. Imagine how confident. Imagine how confidence you would have.
Absolutely.
Like, it's crazy.
He has the support behind that.
and it's the same with Eddie. Eddie's like, I'm chill, mate. If they get past him, they got to go through him. If they get past through him, they got to go through him. And I'm a brick wall at the back, you know? Oh.
I think if Edison was playing in, I don't know, Sheffield United's defence, mate, it'd still be the same. He's a nutter.
Oh, of course he would. At the end of the day, some people are just ice. Yeah, you know what I mean? Normally it's the Scandinavians, like you'd normally say it's the Finns and the Norwegians are ice cold, but this guy, he maybe come from Brazil, but he's ice cold. Ice cold.
He's
what a guy. But moving on to the main man in midfield, a guy who I thought was just majestic, is probably the right word. Purring. He's just showing what he's all about, and just, we always say it, bird's eye view, sees passes no one else does, reads movement like no one else does, just touches the ball like he's playing a game, and he can set the settings of how he wants to. He's just you could just go on all day about what we think about him, but I want to mention one thing that it probably won't get mentioned as much. Is just, I thought his work rate was fantastic. Like, obviously, great assists, fantastic game, but I thought his work rate in the centre of the park was second to none. It's very easy for players of that quality to stand around and let other people do the hard yards, but it shows you what kind of man he is and what he's all about. That he doesn't shirk the responsibility to run and make defensive tackles. Got a little bit frustrated at times. The Amati incident was a bit frustrating to watch, but yeah, Pep got him off when he needed to. It was getting a bit heated, but what a performance. I gave him a 9.5. I thought he was man of the match by quite a clear margin for me. What a guy. What was your thoughts on Kevin? We all know you love the man, but what would you think about his performance yesterday?
Yeah, it was all right, mate. Just Kevin. Yeah. Do you know, he's just such a sensational player, mate. Yeah, he's sensational, mate. Absolutely a wonderful footballer, mate. You know, I think he's genuinely a world-class player, mate.
Oh, without a doubt.
And you know, I think that term gets thrown around a lot. I can't class a world-class player as a player who's the best in his position at this moment in the world.
For me, world-class is best top 5 in your position in the world. That's what I would consider world-class. If you're top 5 in your position, then you're world-class for me. That's the way I view it, but it's all subjective. The tiers of how people do it, it's one of those things. But if anyone deserves the title of world-class player, Kevin De Bruyne definitely does. He's exceptional. What did you give him, mate?
I gave him a 9. Just thought he was fantastic performance, mate. I will not disagree with you with 9.5 either, mate.
Yeah, mate. It's, as a fantasy Premier League guy, it was very disappointing, but still put a smile. Watching that guy play football just puts a smile on my face because he just loves playing football, doesn't he? And he's pretty good at it.
I think you're right about but his work rate is phenomenal as well, because you've seen enough world-class players not stick in that work rate because they rely on that. I
could be wrong. I could be talking completely out of my rear end, but I'm pretty confident in saying out of our midfield players, the players who play midfield, he's run the most every season he's been here since he came, his very first season. I may be wrong on that. Maybe Bernardo 1 year got ahead of him, but I'm pretty sure every year he's pretty much first for distance covered in the midfield players. But no one ever talks about it because, there's so many other great things you want to talk about with Kevin De Bruyne that it's easily overlooked. But as also get to watch him week in, week out, we know what he's all about. What a guy. But let's get into what you guys thought about Kevin De Bruyne now, the majestic ginger man. Used to be the only ginger man I ever liked, but now I seem to be getting quite a few ginger friends these days. So, hey-ho. He's not the only one anymore. And Leonard's gone with a 9. Lee Cullen's gone with a 9. Ray Fairley's gone with a 10. Sean's gone with a 9. Love him, 9 from Cafe de Casual. 10 KDB. 10 KDB from Abdullah. 9 from Eddie. The Pale Pele. 9.5. Check this out afterwards. I'll remember to check it out afterwards, mate. And I'm sure it's good. Don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's good. I have completely lost where I am. Big jump there, boys. Neil Handstock 9. Unlucky with his free kick. That free kick was beautiful, wasn't it? The top spin he got on it on the replay was crazy. SOS has gone with a 9. KDB 10 for me. My favorite City player. Brilliant game yesterday. Brilliant, yeah. Fun fact: KDB is actually Chris's dad. Now you know. Notice with the ginger hair. Yeah. Chris is just really young. He just looks old, It's just like older.
Cheers, mate.
Older. He's like the Benjamin Button effect. What can I say? I keep losing where I am in the comments. I'm not doing a good job tonight. Dudley's gone with a 9.5. Charlie 9.5. Lost for words. 9.5 from Scott. Got the fire back in his belly. I think he believes that the quad is on and he is up for dragging it over the line. I think a lot of the players are starting to get the bit between the teeth in it. I think any professional sportsman, when they see the end of the line come in, then they know what's on there. It's game time, innit? Let's be real. It's game time. Lachelle Blue's gone with a 9. Work rate and ball recovery with excellent passing. There's no facet of the game that Kevin De Bruyne doesn't excel at in terms of a midfielder. He's just exceptional. Unlucky smacking the bar 10 still. Yep. 8.5 for Martin. Any more? Yeah, I mean, a 9.1 for Dupes. Okay, I didn't mean it quite like that. It came out a bit fast. What can I say? He's old enough to give me a smack. That's all right. When he sees me, he's old enough to give me a smack, and I'll buy him a pint. So that'll be all right. I'm sure that'll cheer him.
Don't drink, mate. Don't drink.
He doesn't drink anyway. I'll get him a nice carton of orange juice or so. That's a little bit of a grey dye on Chris's ginger beard. Yeah, we all know. Yeah, grey dye, tinting it up there, getting it all tinted out. KDB is a prince and Chris is a king. I know we all love Chris, don't we? But yeah, it was some great scores for Kevin. I think about a 9's probably 9. I don't care what other people think. I'm giving him a 9.5, guys. Sorry, so I might be a bit nasty on this one for you, but yeah, he's getting a 9.5 from me. Let's see what Mr. Bajowski said and see if he's going to be carrying on with his bit of a misery guts from tonight.
6.
He said some good moments, including a thundering free kick against the bar, slipping Mahrez through in the build-up of a goal, making the second, was caught in possession and chose the wrong pass more than he would like, but probably doesn't matter too much when you've had a hand in 2 goals. A 7. So just for clarification, guys, you got a 7.
Oh my God!
Rodri got an 8 from Simon Bajowski, but okay. They're always fun to read, Mr. Bajowski's comments. Always fun. Sometimes, like the other week, he wasn't too bad. They were really reasonable scores, but tonight, I don't know. Fair enough, mate. Maybe you only watch the highlights. What can I say? But moving on to the front three, we'll start on the right-hand side as the theme tonight, and that was Mahrez, who gets his chance from the start, who I thought had a good game. Would have been great if he would have put one of the 3 clear-cut chances he had away. Would have been very lovely, but I think he actually had quite a good game. I think he always plays better when he's got Walker behind him, just because we all know Walker's a bit more defensively capable than Cancelo. So it allows, I think he feels a little bit more freedom, does a little bit more with the ball, willing to take people on, not too worried about losing it. But come on, three chances to put the ball away and not a single one. You've got to be honest and just say, doesn't matter if you had a good game on the outside, mate. You can't have 3 good opportunities to score as a forward and not take one of them. It's just that simple. And then 2 of them were straight at the keeper and 1 was clearly wide. It was, really disappointing because he's been having some good form recently, but he's been having these problems in front of goal. It's not the first game that he's missed quite a few chances. The game the other week, he missed 2 or 3. So we can't. The later we go in the season, the less chances we're going to get in these games, and we need to take them. We need to be clinical. But I had to be critical, and I gave him a 6, mate. Couldn't give him anything higher just because the amount of good opportunities that he missed. They weren't just chances he created himself and fluffed it. No, not for me. It was 6 for me tonight.
I gave him a 6.5, but I agree, mate. You've got certainly that one that Kevin just put on a plate for him. That it was right onto his right, his left.
Perfect.
Perfect. We couldn't want it. Lovely pace on it, and I could not believe that Riyad had missed that chance. I don't want to knock him too much because he has been in fine form, and he didn't have a bad game. There's no way.
No, exactly. He didn't have a bad game. No, he just terrible in front of goal.
He's probably, if he'd have scored one of them, you're probably looking at a 7.5, 8 sort of a game.
Yeah,
but
exactly. It's 7.5, But you can't. If he would have had 1 chance and missed 1 chance, I could have forgiven him. But 3 good chances. The one from the throw in, from the flick, that is perfect Mahrez angle. Why he doesn't put it to the far corner is beyond me. But I got me. You know me. I'm a big defender of Mahrez. I always back the guy, but I'm not going to sit here and talk rubbish. I didn't think he had I think you got to be criticised for missing those sort of opportunities. He's not a centre back who missed those opportunities. We go, he's a centre back. He's a forward. He's there to put in. And Mahrez is one of the players we expect to put away when he has good chances. Yeah. We expect his conversion rate to be quite good. But I've got to be fair where's fair is. But let's see what some of the guys in the comments thought about his performance. Sean went with a 7. Charlie's saying the journalists don't watch the match. They're just keyboard warriors. Yeah, I think it's because they're doing their report as they're watching the match. They're doing their report instead of watching the match. One of those. But Leonard's gone with a 7. Yeah, I know, Andy. Charlie's gone with a 7.5. Eric went with a 7.5. Mahrez went with a 7.7. Dupe went with a 7.1 for Mahrez. Scott went with a 7, Mr. Sitter. 6.5 from Neil Handstock. Lee's giving Mahrez a 7. Dudley's giving him a 7. Lachelle Blue's giving him a 7.5. Mahrez a 7 from Ray Fernley. 10 for me. Screaming City and Walking Neighbour on Nights. Must have missed the boat there. I don't know. I'm done. Mahrez had a great season. Sterling awful season. Mahrez missed 3 simple 1-on-1. Stats won't make a difference. 5. I think that's some carry on from some other discussion.
I don't think I said it had a bad season. It's just, this is the extremes that people like to go to. You can't just say he's not in good form. That's all.
Yeah.
Say the ball.
SOS has gone with a 7. I'm not getting into Bernardo or whatnot. No. This is about Mahrez's performance. So any more? Dupe saying Mahrez finishing is getting sus lately. Yeah, I think he's had like 8 good opportunities to score and only scored, I think, 1 or 2 of them. So it's a little bit frustrating because they're good opportunities. They're not bad opportunities. They're good opportunities where you expect him to at least have at least about 33% conversion rate based on the chances that he had, and it's not close, and that's just not good enough. I will give Mahrez a 6. I totally agree with you, Kurt. Missed good chances. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't the amount of chances he missed; it was the quality of the chances. I want to stress that point. But let's see if I've missed any more for Mahrez. All right, he's saying, got to go, guys. Great stream, Kurt and Chris. Take care. All have a great bank holiday. Hit those likes and subscribe. Yeah, and obviously Martin's doing the watch along for the Champions League. I think he's starting. I don't know what he's starting 7 or 7:30, but make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be a great time. And a couple people saying bye. Taking care to Martin from some of the guys in there. Any more on Mahrez? I think there was a lot of 7s, a few 7.5s. I think it's about reasonable to give him to give him to a 7 there from the scores in the chat.
Yeah,
Chris, I don't know if you disagree.
I think Sammy made a good point there. He said Riyadh plays best when Bernardo's playing. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, I think
but it doesn't excuse missing the chances, does it?
Yeah, exactly. I think there's definitely partnerships that work. Like, I don't think you can play Cancelo on the right and Mahrez on the right. Personally, I don't think that works, no matter who you've got in midfield. And it's the same on that. There's situations on the left side. It's just one of those. Pep knows these guys so much better than we do, and he knows everything about them in terms of their footballing acumen and what they can offer and what they can't offer to the team. So it's one of those. Andy's gone with Mahrez with a 7. So yeah, no, that was me. Sorry, putting down the scorer with the 7 that we gave Mahrez. So yeah, I know we got the Rangers fan in here, mate. Congratulations on your title win. You know, good to beat them lot. You know. I was always more on the Rangers side of the line than the Celtic side of the line, but I don't particularly have much of a dog in that fight. But it's nice to see Celtic not win because I don't particularly like that.
Move on, Kurt. Move on.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the centre, the guy in the centre today who it might not be. I don't know how to approach this one, honestly. I want to start off by saying that he didn't get a great amount of deal of service. That's what I want to start it off by saying. But I also want to be fair and be realistic that he didn't have very much involvement, had very low amount of touches, wasn't really getting involved in the game. Had that one opportunity for a goal, took his strike well, but it was well covered and blocked. Got subbed off relatively early in the second half, which you expect. He's not played a lot of minutes of football, so it's one of them. But I got to be honest. I didn't think it was a great performance at all, and I gave him a 6. And that was a kind 6.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
I thought he wasn't involved in the game. We know Sergio coming back takes games to come
exactly
to form, but I just think maybe the injuries he's had is making it worse. I only gave Connor 5. I didn't think he was in the game.
Yeah, mine was a generous 6 because it was first game, first start in God knows how long. Like that's the only reason. But he
just didn't look. He wasn't pressing very much either. He wasn't.
Nothing was really going on. Like I said, he had that one opportunity, and also with the flick, he looked like he wanted the ball instead of Mahrez. But other than that, he just didn't get into the game. It was tough. It's hard to watch, honestly. That's the way I would categorize it. It was really difficult to watch, mate.
I thought he was the only City. I thought he was the only City player yesterday.
He was poor.
Yeah, he just wasn't involved in the game.
In terms of the game, yeah, exactly, yeah. But hopefully, it was just one of those. It was a minute situation, getting in minutes, and hopefully he can come on, impact some games. Maybe not off the start, maybe coming on for the last 30 minutes if we're really desperate in a game. He's going to be helpful for the season. What role he ends up playing is remains to be seen. But yeah, it wasn't a great night for Serge. And let's see what you guys thought. Leonard's gone with a 7. Alex gone with a 7 for Sergio, and Andy went with a 5.5. 7 didn't press enough and looks like he was just off it. Yeah, 6 from Ray. 6.1. Aguero's system doesn't suit him. The system doesn't suit him anymore. It's just a sad one, isn't it, really, with Serge for this one. Hopefully he can get better and have some good performances before he leaves, because I don't want him to be petering out performances on his way out. That wouldn't be nice. But Lee's gone with a 6. 10 just to see him on the pitch. The Charles Blue's gone with it there. Neil Handstock's gone with a 6.5. Riyadh stole a shot and he would have put away. I think he would have put that as way as well, but it is what it is. Sergio, 10 for being there. Yeah, we all love Serge, don't we? Eric went with a 6. Oh, big jump. 6 from SOS. Looked lost. Yeah, he did look a bit lost, didn't he, mate? Dudley went with a 6. Dudley went with a 6, big jump there. Scott went with 6. Hopefully, you can get some trust in him going forward. But I'm not Pep. Yeah, that's just a hope. It's one of those. It's more of a hopeful than a I know it's going to happen with me at the moment with Serge. Mandraths went with a 5. He literally didn't have any impact on the game. I think that's the one. Sergio, a very biased 7. I know a lot of the guys with me are probably giving him a little bit of a biased higher score, but yeah, it wasn't good, was it? Evening, Brian. You're a little bit late, but we're just doing Sergio's rating. So if you want to get involved, just give us what you thought rating for Sergio was. Sympathetic 6. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a trend going on here. Bit of a trend going on. So if there's any more that I've missed, Sammy's gone with an 8. So yeah, I think I'm just going to have to go echoing what everyone says. A very sympathetic 6. Brackets, quotation marks, however you want to call it.
What did Simple Simon have to say?
Well, we'll get onto that right now. Mr. Bajalsi said his biggest contribution, sadly, was chalking off Fernandinho's early goal through being an offside position. Didn't do anything to suggest he'll start on Tuesday. A 5. Yeah.
Let's get on to Gabby.
And now we'll talk about Mr. Gabby on the left-hand side, who I thought he's quite good on that side. I think he's like a lot of our players on our team. I think he's a 50-50 split kind of player. I think he should play half his games as the second striker and half his games as a winger. That's how I think. Similar with Ake. I think Ake will play half his games as left-sided centre-back and half his games as left-back. That's what Pep loves. Pep loves rotation. Pep loves players who can play multiple positions, be able to change systems without having to change personnel. I thought he had a really, really good game. I preferred him, actually, when he came central after Sterling came on personally than when he was out on the left. But did a lot on the left. Some really, really, really fantastic pressing. Like, we're 2-0 up and he's pressing like that in a game where it's pretty much wrapped up. Creating opportunities for Kevin to get opportunities for assists that Morris couldn't put away. I thought he had a really stellar game, and I gave him an 8.5. Thought he did well for his goal, looked sharp. I thought he had a really, really good game. What was your thoughts on Jesus?
Yeah, I gave him an 8, mate. I thought he had a really good game. Best out of the front three for easily. Worked really hard as per usual, but there was more to his game yesterday. Not just the work rate, which is phenomenal, but he had a really good game.
Quality,
Took his goal well. And there was that bit afterwards when he closed down the ball on Johnny Evans, and we should have scored after that. But
yeah, exactly. Just talk about when he pressing the and also when he had the opportunity in the first half where he got the ball, he had no one on. Just worked a chance for himself out of nothing. Obviously, it went over the bar, wasn't on target. But the reality is, create a chance from that position. You've got to have the credit for creating the chance. A lot of the thing with the Sterling stuff is it's easy to say he misses those chances, but he gets himself in a position. So it's one of those. It's a bit of a weight. But I thought he had a really, really good game, and he just offers a lot to our team. And I don't know. I know a lot of people get on his back sometimes, but I like Hayes. I really do.
Yeah, I think when you're playing a team like Leicester, you need to have work rate, and Gabby provides that in spades, doesn't he? But he technically as well yesterday, he's very good. And the shot, you say, and the shot that he had, which went over just didn't get the curl on it, did. But like you say, he did. There was nothing else on, and he made something out of nothing. It was a great, effort. He had a really good game yesterday.
So you went with a 8.5.
I gave him an 8, mate. But
an 8. So 8.5 for me, and it was an 8 for Chris. I went with an 8, and then I just bumped him up the 1 because it's Gabby 1 goal. But let's get into your comments and see what you guys thought about Gabby. Cafe de Casual's gone with a 7 for Gabby. Sean went with a 10. Charlie saying Gabby 1 goal, got a 7. Eric saying Gabby looks comfortable on the wing. I think he looks comfortable in both positions for me personally. Gabriel, 6.5, persistent performance and well taken goal, exactly. It's 8.1 for Dupes for Gabby Jesus. 8 from Scott Williams. An unsympathetic 8 from Ryan Fern. 7 from Leonard. 8.5 as Fernandinho and Rodri. Yeah, that was me. I thought his level of performance was up there with Fernandinho and Rodri for me. That's where I'd bracket him, just below Kevin, but one of the best 5 performers of the game for sure. His work rate is immense. It definitely is. Giving him an 8. Leonard's gone with a 7 again. Sorry, I'm a bit late with the Sergio 6. Yeah, I think 6 is, like I said, generous 6. I think that's a fair one. But I said, moving on to Jesus. Quickly moving on to Jesus. Alec Johnson's gone with a 9 for Jesus. Dudley's given him a 7+1. Jesus, 8.5. Scored on his birthday. Yep. Gave me a nice present on my birthday. So we take those. We take those. Michael Fearney's gone with an 8.5. I will give Jesus an 8.5. He had a great game. Worked so hard yesterday. He just does, doesn't he? 2-0 up, pressing like that. It's just unbelievable. Gone with an 8. Carol's Gabby, excellent game. Excellent game. Top work rate, and's gone with a 9. Yeah, it's just brilliant, isn't it? It's just brilliant. And so aggregating these scores, there's a few 7s in there, a few 9s in there, a couple 8s in there, a couple 8.5. So I think about an 8's probably the aggregate of what you guys are thinking for Jesus. And let's just see what Mr. Bajowski, see if he's a bit of a misery guts about Jesus as well. Let's see what he had to say. He said, worked hard and scored a goal, almost a perfect Jesus performance, although he did blast one over in the first half. This guy, man, he creates an opportunity out of nothing, doesn't get the shot on target, and he's making out like that's something to be used as a negative. That's what's wrong with the reporting there, man. That's what's wrong. Like, that's the antithesis for me of what's wrong. Like, how are you? It should be a positive that he got a shot off from a situation where he had no business getting a shot off.
Yeah, like, this is my point about it. Just seems to be at the minute you can't look at something objectively. You've got to give something. That was shit. Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like just
strange. The same way we were fair and just say, look, Sergio wasn't at it that day. He wasn't good. I just don't know how you can. How can you use when the geezers made an opportunity out of nothing as a negative is just unbelievable for me. But yeah, we like to read him out because he does entertain us from time to time, whether it's annoyance or comedy. Some of Bajowski's got a couple things going for him, I guess. He gets to speak to Pep in the presser, so lucky for him, I suppose. But yeah, we'll just do Sterling for the subs on the player rating because the other ones didn't have enough time for me. I'm not gonna bother giving them a rating. For me, get me notes here. What did I write down for Sterling? I've completely forgot what I was going to say. I got him said he didn't have much to do, but he caused the defenders problems. He did well for his part in the goal, and I think he showed really good experience at the end, towards the end of the game, trying to buy the foul, running down the clock, not doing anything silly, doing what he needs to do, bit of experience, a bit of maturity with it. And I gave him a 7. Like I said, he wasn't on a huge amount of time. 63 minutes he came on, so had a decent 25 minutes or whatever, but yeah, I gave him a solid 7.
Yeah, I gave him 7. Raz? Yeah, he gave a 7. Obviously, he got the assist. That's why I get bumped out half a point up for the assist with Gabby. I thought it was if that was coming on his other side, I think he'd taken the shot himself, but I don't think he's comfortable on his left foot at all, mate.
And also, I think the centre, was it the centre back or the full back behind him, sprinted to that left hand side post and really cut that angle. So when he stopped it, he was like, even if I take this shot, I've got to curl it top right bins to score this, or I can slide it across for a tap in.
Yeah, he made the right decision. He made the right decision to turn back in and just feed Gabby. Yeah, so yeah, a 7. I was happy with that. His little cameo yesterday.
Yep, and I like I say, gives us option. Gabby's playing out on the left. He comes in. Gabby's more central. Gives us a little bit something different from the centre of the park with the pressing on the side, because Gabby can go to the right side and help press on that right side as well. Help Mahrez. It's a lot of good things to come with that. But let's just see what you guys thought about Raz. Let's try and get up to where it started. We've got Ray's going Sterling sturdy 7. Eric went with a 6. Neil's gone with a 7. Tried to screw up scoring, so took the assist instead. I think he just realised he had no business trying to take a shot from there, and he'd be absolutely hammered if he even tried to attempt it. So just the smartest thing to do is just pass it to a guy for a tap-in. You're going to get smiles from the guy you assisted, and everyone's going to use another assist on your sheet,
on your stats.
Exactly, yeah. And I will give Sterling a 7. Scott's gone with a 7 for Sterling. 7.5. Great composure for Grabby's goal. None of that, Eric. None of that. 7.5 for Raz. 7.5 for the birthday assist. Yeah. 7.1 for Raz. 8 for Raz from Alex. 7.5 for Raz from Andy for the assist. I get scared when he's 1-on-1. Oh God. Sterling a 7 from Alex. Happy Easter, lads. You mean I think you mean Easter there, mate. And happy Easter to you, mate, if you do celebrate it. And for anyone who doesn't, hope you had a nice weekend. Enjoy the bank holiday or whatever, wherever you may be. Sterling for a 7. So looks there's a couple 8s in there, but mainly a few 7.5s, mainly 7s though. So finish off Raz with a solid 7. Come off the bench, help make part in your goal, help run down the clock, do what you need to do. Can't say more of that for a substitution. Simon Bajowski had a couple words to say about Sterling. He said showed some good awareness to set up Jesus for the second 7. So not really much from him, but
so
score from that.
Bajowski gave Raz a 7.
Yeah,
and he gave KDB a 7.
Yeah,
agenda, mate.
No, the funny bit is if you look back, yeah, Rodri gets the 8. De Bruyne gets the 7 from him. Mendy gets an 8. And Mahrez gets a 5 from him. This doesn't make no sense. Whatever. Like I say, we only read them out for the comedy factor for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And it's much better. Everyone has entitled to an opinion.
Of course, mate. Of course. But yeah, it was an absolutely great game. I know we've gone on a little bit longer than expected tonight. But it was great to have Chris on. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I forgot about. We did the community poll. As I said, I don't know if you want to have any little words about David Silva helping Real Sociedad to lift their first cup in like 34 years. Because I just wanted to say thank you to him. I don't know if you want to echo that comment or whatnot.
Yeah, of course, mate. Just brings a smile to your face, doesn't it? He's just a wonderful footballer. But what was that 34-year record? Was it, Kurt?
34, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was 35 when he won the FA Cup with City. So
for us, exactly.
Yeah. So
you like bringing smiles to people's faces who haven't smiled for a while in terms of football, So what a man. This
is what we want for Kun. It's Kun to go somewhere out of England and watch him winning trophies as well.
The only, just speaking on the Sergio thing, just really, really quickly, the only reason I see him staying in England is because he's determined to beat Wayne Rooney's Premier League goals. That's the only reason I see him picking a Premier League club, is because he's determined to get above Wayne Rooney. Because he's above Wayne Rooney for goals with a single club, I believe, right? He's the highest with a single Premier League club, right? I'm pretty sure. With his goals.
It's a really good call, that, mate.
But that's the only reason I see him staying in the Premier League, is because he's desperate to break that record. Because if he goes to Spain, he can't break really any records in Spain. He's our top goal scorer. He might want to be. He's obviously the top foreign goal scorer of all time. Like, he might just want to be one of the best ever. So that might be the only thing with Sergio on that thing. But yeah, hats off to you, David. I know you're not watching, but we all love you, mate. And I'm sure the Real Sociedad fans love you as well. And congratulations to them, boys. It's a bit of a weird one. They're playing like 2 Copa del Rey's in like a week, so it's a bit of a strange one. Atletico Bilbao are in the other cup final as well, so they might lose 2 cup finals in a week in the same competition.
Yeah,
bit of a weird one, that. But
it's like when your kid comes home, and they've got a certificate from school, or they've managed to learn to ride the bike. Just as soon as I saw David Silva had won the Copa del Rey, I was just like,
it's beaming. I was beaming.
A big smile and a big, good lad,
Yeah, and it's a fan base that are similar to us. They've been a long time without success, and I'm sure they're bloody just gutted that they can't watch him live in person, but they get to enjoy him in that colour shirt, and it's great. We all love David, and credit to him for helping them. Is there anything else you want to mention or whatnot before we get off tonight, mate? Or anything that I've forgotten?
No, Andy's tried to get hold of a Borussia Dortmund guy to come and do a preview with us. For tomorrow, but they're all hiding. They didn't think they had a good result, did they, this weekend? So the likelihood is we might just do one of ourselves, as long as we can get the time away. So we will let you know as early as we can tomorrow. But there should be something, and then Martin will definitely be on Tuesday.
Maybe on Tuesday.
I think are you joining him for this one?
Yeah, I should be joining him for the watch along. I won't be on the whole watch along. I'll just I'll come in sort of similar to the way I was doing it with Andy. Come on, do the halftime show, and if there's a bit of a lull and nothing's really going on, I'll jump in and help out, or if he needs to pop out and do anything, I can come in and help cover over. So that'll be on Tuesday. I don't know his start time. I think he said 7:30.
It's 8 o'clock kickoff.
It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. He likes to usually get on half an hour before, so it should be a 7:30 kickoff. So make sure you stay tuned to that. The preview, if there is one, it will be out obviously the next couple of days. Obviously before the game, we're going to do a preview after the game, and not sure what's going on post match. But as always, we'll keep you all informed. Great win for City. Clean sheet keeps going. Eddie's going to get those golden gloves. That'll be City as the most golden gloves of any club in Premier League history, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Could be mistaken, it's very late. But yeah, so a lot of good things, a lot of positives. We roll on to the Champions League, and we roll on to a crazy April. Started with a bang, started with a good away win at Leicester, and I'm just so proud of the boys. And thanks for everyone who's joined us in the chat tonight on the Sunday evening after their Easter holiday, after their Easter dinners and whatnot. It's been great to chat to you guys. As I said, great win. We roll on to the next game, and wow, it's going to be a really fun month for us. It's just exciting, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, Andy's asking there in the community chat who was man of the match. I think it was Kevin De Bruyne.
It was Kevin De Bruyne who won the community poll. Andy, he won it with 65%. The next closest to him was Rodri with 20% of the votes. And last time I checked the vote count, it was just below 300. So a fairly sizable larger you guys got involved in that. So I really do appreciate you guys getting involved. There's always stuff on the community. It might not be every single day, but most days there's something new coming out on there. So make sure you keep tuned for that one. And thanks for everyone that's come on and got involved. It's always been a pleasure to us. And as always, up the City. Take care, guys.
Thank you.